Well, hey folks, feel free to join in while I'm mercilessly chainsawing down this American elm and well, all the other trees here in this part of the plot of land. Ooh, this is a big one. 12.9 meters in diameter. Well, no surprise. Of course, to chop everything, dearie me, and find some way to clear the stumps will definitely take some time. So it's good we have a small mountain of hay over here to feed our cattle in the meantime. But just let's plow the outline of the grass field for the moment, just to bear that in mind for the future. And this bush around here. So, oh, wait a moment, forgot to tell you, we removed the garden, which was overpowered, and now we have these small greenhouses, basic greenhouses made from windows, old windows that Uncle Walter had. One of them has lettuce, the other one has the famous family chilies. And oh, I left the shed open to put my chainsaw away. Right, better not carry this thing around. So I'm back to plowing so I can do something in February, and I'll get back to you in March for some cultivating, liming, and getting ready for well, getting ready for this farming season. Well, folks, it's springtime, it's March, and my cousins here, Al and Lily, are cultivating the fields, getting them ready for planting next month, because all of the crops we're planting are planted in April normally. And well, we also have a very basic spreader here to line the fields after they're cultivated. And just, yep, the farm had some trouble lifting it because the lime is very heavy. I'll try with the Alice, and maybe I'll have better luck. But in the meantime, while the cousins are doing this, I'll chop some of the trees here, trying to make the pieces small enough to lift, to load into one of the trailers and take them to the sawmill, so they can gradually, get the hell out of the yard, so I can plow this meadow field. Or at least that's the plan. Now you can also see our Angus cattle. Oh, this is a big tree. This will take a while, as does everything around here. You can see our cattle here, and Cletus, I mean, he's an adult bull, but he's a bit small and very full of energy. But honestly, I hope that this is resolved when I reload the game, because I don't want to remove this livestock mod. But if we're going to get like these midget bulls here, or animals dying because the option gets reset every time I reload, well, I guess this will have to do. Now, let me check that these pieces are Whoops, not the flashlight, you idiot. Oh my, this is this is huge. What is it? Shagbark hickory. This, I have to chop it down to very small pieces to ensure that I can load them by hand, and I'm afraid, well, there's no other way unless we can rent some sort of skid steer from the shop. Something like, yeah, this should be period accurate. We'll see. It's not expensive, but you know, Uncle Walter's a bit of a cheapskate. So, I'll get back to you later when the fields are nice and prepped for planting. Well, again, everyone. Well, if anyone is watching, we're trying to. Yep, and are we managing? I think we are. Well, we should be. No? Crap. How does this work? Well, we rented the skid steer and we're trying to load the lime here into the lime spreader, but something isn't really working as it should. Not sure why. I mean, it can be loaded correctly from lime bags. Anyway. I guess we'll have to compensate here by using super strength for a moment and seeing if that works. Ah, yes. Which is very strange. I didn't know why it didn't work with the skid steer. But anyway, the important thing is that the Alice can handle the lime spreader, and in the meantime, while we didn't find a historically accurate log fork for this thing, there isn't one. I think we can use this to no, goddamn tree's too heavy, but maybe we can use it to push it aside. Oh well, there goes another idea. Smaller trees, definitely, but well, let's try with this one. It looks chunky. Well, if we cut it in two, we might be able to do that, but let's not multitask so much. I'll continue liming the fields. I mean, they don't take a lot of lime, as you'll see in the mini-map in the bottom left corner. But since the soil is terrible, this loamy sand here, we have to try and do our best with the soil we have available. So I guess there's no other choice. Oh, here's the dog walking on the lime field. Well, let me check what it says here in the field info. It says pH value is good. Perfect here, of course. Spreading isn't perfect. And here, not a hell of a lot of, it's not a big difference. But, yeah. Well, I'll do what I can, and I'll get back to you. Well, hi again, folks. After what was probably a few seconds for you, thanks to the magic of bad editing, but, well, quite some time for me. After lunch and a lot of cultivating and plowing, the fields are fine. We're in April. My cousins here, Al and Lily, are working busy as bees with the Farmall and the John Deere. Uh, Al is rolling this plowed field actually, yeah, which I know gameplay wise it is pointless. But as far as I understand, and if anybody ever listens to this, correct me if I'm wrong, it's not American practice to roll the fields after sowing. Sometimes you can roll them before to make planting easier, for example. And this actually makes sense from a hi Uncle Boulder, from a gameplay perspective, as these small tractors with their small wheels can get trapped in the plow furrows if you don't, well, if the ground isn't level. Whoops, there are some chilies hanging outside this greenhouse. Okay, I'll take that. It's producing slowly but steadily, but this is what we wanted. So, yeah, we managed to lime the fields yesterday. Actually, there was rain forecasted, but it didn't rain at all. After all, resetting the game has kind of de-glitched the livestock mod, so Cletus, where are you, Cletus, is an adult bull as he should be. Is it this guy? No, this is Dinah. This is Cletus with the nose ring. Well, disregard the others, like the guy who made the mod said he's not a 3D modeler. So, well, of course, I'm surprised that he didn't have any 3D modelers helping him, but with such a successful mod. But anyway, maybe future versions. Now, as you can also see right here, I used the John Deere skid steer we had rented from the shop to move these trees out of the way after chopping them down into more manageable pieces. So I'm plowing this part of the yard while my cousins are working on the fields to convert it into, well, a grass field to feed our cows. There's plenty of wood here to chop and sell, but that's not urgent, not by any means. So I'll keep on plowing. And of course, we'll have to get rid of these tree stumps in some way. Now, alternatively, because most of these trees have very irregular shapes, we can think about chipping them, especially since wood chips are much more profitable in FS25 than they were in previous versions of the game, which is very fair because it was very tiring to generate wood chips and they didn't get enough money while silage was overpriced. This was fixed. Yeah, anyway, we'll see about that. As long as they're not in the way, it's not urgent. The stumps are more urgent to get rid of, but I have the feeling from previous experience that the base game stump grinder, if that's what those things are called, can work even with low horsepower tractors such as this Alice, but only if the tractor is stationary. So this is something that we'll try out after I finish with the plowing. Yeah, and I guess I'll show you how that goes as well. Oh, like I said, this works. in fact. It's just the tractor can't move while this thing is operating, but if you just place it right, move it back and forth a little bit maybe. Yep, it works, but of course it's immersion braking. Now there was a stump grinder in FS22, a mod, that was more vintage, but hey, we'll have to do with this. Just ignore the fact that it's very modern. But work is progressing correctly, and I'll guess after everything's ready, and if I don't spend the whole month stuck on logs, I'll come back to you. It's June. We're finally selling the soybeans, already sold the corn. The prices are at their peak, and you can see, hopefully there on the top right corner, how our money is increasing. And well, it's been quite a while since the account looked so healthy. Right, well, kinda. We have 26,000 in the bank. Yeah, it's supposed to be dollars, but I'm a bit OCD. I just want to see everything in euros and in degrees Celsius, so I won't even try Fahrenheit for the US playthrough. It would be too confusing for my brain. But disregarding that for a moment, we can see our healthy bank account, but I'll stop for a moment and consider this, because I had a chat with Uncle Walter, and yeah, the farm is making a profit, but it's surviving, basically. It's not exactly a profit, it's just earnings that are enough to cover, well, Uncle Walter's expenses and those of his kids, my cousins. But this isn't the model for the farm to modernize and expand, which is exactly why Uncle Walter has called me here in the Ozarks, or wherever we're supposed to be. Hi, Uncle Walter, everything's sold. So let's park the farm first of all, because Uncle Walter will be grumpy again. I should also clean it, but I'll do that later. Anyway, greenhouses are producing stuff here. There are chopped trees everywhere, but as I said, we'll sort it out. Our grass field here is, well, the grass is growing, and that's a good thing, because the shed, well, the hay that we had stored in the shed is, well, we're out of hay. We fed it all to the cows, and they do have food for the moment, but that's why we need to cut the hay next month. And at the same time, our crops here are growing, and there are some weeds here which I should spray, because I completely forgot about that. Not many, and scattered here and there, but yeah, or wildflowers, not exactly weeds, but yeah, I'll do what I can. Anyhow, the important thing is, let me jump the fence here. Whoopsie. Let's take a look at our balance sheet. Now, by selling these crops, and what else did I sell in January? Sorghum. Well, January, we can't see January in the spreadsheet, but the point is, a healthy profit this month, 20,000, but you can see the expenses for farm maintenance, for fertilizer, for well, the wages of my cousins, so this isn't the way to expand. So I convinced Uncle Walter that after this year is over and we've harvested everything with a new self-propelled combine, we should modernize and expand. And he agreed on that. We're going to take a loan. Of course, the only way he agreed was that the loan will be in my name, but yeah, what can you do? This Uncle Walter is a bit of a racist, cheapskate, and all that, but yeah, his family. What can you do? So yeah, next time I'll see you, we'll have our combine and we'll be getting ready to harvest the crops. Hey, Uncle Walter. So, for me, FarmCat, signing out.